The countdown to draft night, now ticking down to those final hours. Let's look at this together. We are just over 13 hours, 26 minutes, 18, 17, 16. We are counting down, friends. Tonight at 8 o'clock, the Carolina Panthers will officially be the first team on the clock. The Scarlet and Gray, always well represented in that first round. This week, look at this, Ryan Day, he knows what's up. He retweeted this from College Football on Fox. OSU has more first-round NFL draft picks than any other university coming into the draft tonight. And then he dropped his mic and then went to decide what he was going to wear tonight.
I was going to say that again. More first-round picks.
Yeah, that's an amazing statistic,
it is.
really.
All right, so tonight, 3 or 4 more Buckeyes could hear their names in that first round. Being a first-round pick, as we know, means so much for the Bucks and the Buckeye Nation.
Yeah, just keep piling the picks on, right? Yeah. 10 TV reporter Kevin Landers live outside the shoe this morning with a preview of tonight's draft. And Kevin, all their hard work comes down to tonight.
Boy, I tell you, they certainly deserve it. Consider this, just 1.2% of college football players actually get drafted. And tonight, Ohio State could have several players drafted, which just shows just the amazing talent of these former players. Take a look at this. Ohio State sits third in the most all-time NFL draft picks behind Notre Dame and USC. The Buckeyes have produced the most first-round selections in the 87-year history of the draft. This year, quarterback C.J. Stroud may not be #1 overall, but many believe he will be the second pick.
The Houston Texans, I don't know how they pass on C.J. Stroud, so I'm going to go with C.J. Stroud. I understand there's some buzz out there about he may be slipping. They had the S2, C2, the Q2, whatever intelligence scores that Pete Prisco hates. But I can tell you this, when you watch him on tape, he may be the most accurate passer besides Bryce Young in this draft.
Now, among the other players expected to be drafted in the first round, offensive lineman Paris Johnson and wide receiver Jackson Smith-Njigba. If that holds true, this will be the 8th straight year that OSU has had a first-round draft pick. And let's not forget the money. A first-round pick is worth between $20 million and $40 million. A second-round pick is worth between $15 and $20 million. Not a bad day. Tonight, 8 o'clock, the draft kicks off live from Kansas City. Reporting live from the Horseshoe, Kevin Landers, 10 TV News.
You know, Kevin, we were just talking that amount of money, is it over a year, 3 years, 5 years? It doesn't matter. That's still just so much for these young Buckeyes to just
That's a lot of purses. That's a lot of shoes.
Yeah, a lot of cars.
Yeah,
Start working on my arm.
That's pocket change for Clay Gordon. He walks around with that in his pocket all day, so no big deal for Clay.
Listen, from your mouth to God's ears, I want that to happen. Believe me.
Oh, Kevin. All right, thanks. Of course, we're going to keep our eyes on the draft tonight, but one of the biggest stories coming out of the draft centers around C.J. Stroud.
It really does. NFL analysts are debating where the Buckeye quarterback will go tonight after recent talk about his stock falling.
So Dom Tiberi joins Wake Up CBus with a look ahead to draft night.
Good morning, everyone. Dom Tiberi here. Let's talk some sports. NFL Draft Day. And the fun kicks off with the first round tonight in Kansas City. A total of 14 Buckeyes could get drafted over the next 3 days, including quarterback C.J. Stroud. His college coach, Ryan Day, who also coached in the NFL, is on record saying Stroud is brilliant. And if he had a pick in this draft, he would take him first. This after reports out that Stroud was dead last in a cognitive test amongst all the quarterbacks in this year's draft. Stroud answers his critics this way.
But for me, I mean, I'm secure in myself, and I know what I can do on the field. I know I can process very well, and I know I'm very smart. So you can't play at Ohio State and not be smart. And for the people, for the S2 test, man, it is what it is. It happened, and I'm willing to stick up, and I don't have no excuses. So I know what I can do on that field.
And we could see 4 Buckeyes taken in the first round tonight. C.J. is expected to go very high. Could be the first or second player taken. Then he'd be followed by receiver Jackson Smith-Njigba, offensive tackle Paris Johnson, and finally offensive tackle DeJuan Jones. He's projected as a late first, early second rounder. You know, we could see as many as 6 Buckeyes taken in the first 2 rounds. So our next crop, as I like to call them, our next crop of Buckeyes on Sunday are on the way. Once again, the draft starts tonight out in Kansas City, starting around 8 o'clock. Good morning, everyone. I'm Dom Tiberi.
And this is the coolest part, too, is now they're going to go to teams, probably not Ohio teams, and then you become fans of those teams in a way because you're rooting on the hometown people, you know? So I think that's the coolest part.
And I just want to say, because I'm a recovering helicopter mom, maybe C.J. Stroud just had a bad headache or something that day. I'm going to need you to let that go and stop talking about him.
And at some point, everyone out there has to remember the hashtag developed here.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
OSU. So
That's right.
Good luck.
It's going to be really great.
Can't wait to see you.